Hi, Achim here from InnerSpace Explorers. As the title indicates, it's about the disinfection of your BCD. I'm super bad with these things, to be honest, but I've been asked a couple of times now, and I thought it's a good topic. So first of all, do you have to disinfect your BCD? You can. It really depends. I mean, it depends a bit on where you dive and what you want to do. It came up because recently I showed somebody in the water, like the the last chance, using the inflator as a backup regulator. So for those of you who don't know that, the thinking behind is you have your main regulator and you have your backup. So you give away your main regulator, your backup regulator for some reason doesn't work. So let's say the first stage is whatever, broken. On the right first stage that is working because you've been breathing from it, and now the person out of gas is breathing from it, is working, and there's also the inflator hose attached to your inflator. So now when you press both of these buttons, I mean, you press this one, gas is coming in here from your first stage, and when you press this at the same time, it obviously will go out here instead of traveling all the way back here, because air usually takes the path with the smallest resistance. So that means when I press both of these buttons, there's fresh gas from my first stage coming out here, and then you can bring this here, you can breathe from it, and then you bring it up here and stop this one, just because there's always a little bit of gas obviously going in, so you're messing up your buoyancy. So you get that away, you deflate, you press the button again, you bring it back in here, you breathe. So I was demonstrating that to somebody in the water, and then I always tell people, make sure you press both of these buttons. You don't want to breathe the gas from the inside of your wing or of your BCD, because there can be all kind of weird stuff growing in there, and you don't want that in your lungs. And there is actually stories from people who've been breathing from buoyancy devices and get lung infections and some sort of weird fungus growing in their lungs, which is obviously not what you want. And then this person that I've been demonstrating to was like, yeah, how do you disinfect, blah, blah, blah. And so honestly, I rarely do that, because even if I demonstrate this exercise, it's fresh gas coming out there. I'm not breathing the stuff that's in there. On the other hand, it obviously doesn't hurt. If you want to do that, also to protect your wing or the inner bladder of your BCD from dirt and deterioration, whatever, then you can disinfect it. And the question was, how do you do that? So obviously you need to open it up. I mean, not necessarily. You could theoretically fill it up with water by just pressing here and then filling it up through that, and then you can shake it around and then you drain it again. If you want to do that properly, you open it up. So you open up these here. I mean, you can screw these open. Just demonstrate that quickly. So this goes off, and then you can take this one out, and then you have a real hole here where you can fill it and drain it. And then you can put this back in and close it again. And depending on the type of BCD that you use, you might have multiple of this. And obviously the same procedure goes for this one. You can unscrew that and take it off, and then you have access to the bladder. And if it's a more higher quality wing, then you have the zipper here, and you can open that up, which I'm not doing it now because it's a pain in the butt. And then you can actually take the inner bladder out, and a lot of these inner bladders are a little bit transparent. Let me just show you that. This one probably not. So yeah, here you can actually see the inner material, and you can see that this is, you can take all of this out. So if you unscrew these and open the zipper, you can take that inner bladder out. The one on this video, on this wing is from Cordura as well, so you cannot look inside, but some of them looks a little bit like a plastic bag. It's a rubber, similar to rubber material, and it's a little bit transparent, so you can actually see if it's discolorized, if there's something in it, and that makes it a bit more obvious that it needs cleaning. So here you don't see anything. So and then you obviously need some proper disinfect. So the best place to do that is actually your bathtub, because, or you take some bin or whatever, but then afterwards you have to deal with the remaining water with the disinfect. So if you do it in the bathtub, you just pull the plug and it's gone. So I like to do that. And also if you take the shower head off from the hose, then you just have this hose, and that's actually great to fill the wings through these holes. So talking about disinfect, there's two things. So if you're in the US or that region, then Steramine is the stuff to go for. That's what we use for the rebreathers, but it's not available in Europe. If you're in Europe, I use Virkon S. Both of these disinfects are what we use for the rebreathers. So if it's good to disinfect the counterlung of your rebreather, then it's obviously good for the wing. Be careful with disinfect, medical disinfection stuff like for surfaces. Most of that contains alcohol, and the alcohol can affect and damage the surface of the material. So that's why you should not use these things. So really make sure that it's something that is not aggressive and it doesn't have any alcohol in it. So this is a powder, if you see that, so that you mix with water, and the Steramine is tablets, and they also get dissolved in water, and then you have a perfect disinfection solution. So you can mix that up in a pot or something, and then use a small funnel and fill it in the bladder, and then shake that around, let it sit for a while. You can obviously also just fill the bathtub with, I don't know, 10 centimeters of water, and then mix it up there, and then soak the entire wing in there, and make sure the water with the disinfectant goes in. Shake it around, let it sit for 20 minutes, whatever. Actually, they glasses. Actually, should say something on there. Solution: 2 tablets for 1 gallon of water. Blah 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 blah. This one actually doesn't say anything on how long you should have it sit. Probably. Yeah, I usually do 20 minutes or something like that. And then you flush it with fresh water. That's when I set the hose with the shower head taken off. It's great to put water in the wing itself. You flush it through, you hang it up, you let it dry out, and when it on a cool and ventilated place, not in the direct sun, and then yeah, you get it back together and you're good to go. It's disinfected, so no big deal. And I mean, if you take the hose off, then put it in the solution as well. So obviously the disinfectant also goes in here, and so you're not missing that part. And that's the best and easy way to disinfect your BCD, in case you ever have to or accidentally take a breath with gas that comes from the BCD, which normally is not the case, but it for sure doesn't hurt your BCD, and probably helps to use it a couple of years longer, because if there's something in it and it starts to grow and probably affects the inner bladder, and at some point it will start to leak, especially wings that are used in hot climates, that it's always damp, it's always hot in there. So probably stuff's growing in there. I mean, if you're living here in Europe and it's miserable and cold most of the year, and you only dive freshwater, it's probably a lot more unlikely for something to grow in there than if you're living somewhere in a tropical climate and this thing is always in the water, like for a professional instructor, dive guide, whatever. It's probably not such a bad idea to have it disinfected from time to time. Hope that answers the questions. If you have questions, comments, please put them in the comment section. Other than that, if you have topics that you want to have covered in this channel, put them in the comment section as well, or drop me a message. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.